So you're thinking about moving to Burke, Virginia, but you'd kind of like to know the pros and cons of living in Burke, Virginia before you make that move? Well, in today's video, that's exactly what we're gonna cover. We're gonna be talking about the good and the bad of living in Burke, Virginia. So if you're thinking about making that move, be sure to stick around because we're gonna get after it right now. If this is your first time at the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button and tap that bell for notifications so that you'll be the first to know about the current market in Northern Virginia. My name's Amanda, and the team and I get calls every single day from people just like you, and we absolutely love it. Whether you're moving in 9 days or 90 days, give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email, and we'll be happy to help you make that smooth move to Northern Virginia. So as I mentioned, we are going to be covering the pros and the cons of living in Burke, Virginia. And based on feedback from our viewers, I'm going to start with the cons because that seems to be what really interests the majority of people. So without further ado, con number one of living in Burke is there is no metro station in Burke. If you're looking for an area in Northern Virginia that has an actual station that you can either be dropped off at or walk to, Burke is probably not going to be the place for you. There are ample metro bus stops in the Burke area, but if you are looking for a city that actually has a station, Burke is not going to be it. You are going to have to commute from Burke to a metro station. Con number two about living in Burke, Virginia is there's no central downtown area in Burke. There are plenty of strip malls for daily needs, grocery store, pharmacy, everything like that is nearby, but it's in a strip mall setup versus there being a walkable downtown area that has more boutique shops and small businesses. Burke just doesn't offer that. So if you're looking for a city in Northern Virginia that has a downtown area with the vibe of boutique shops, outdoor dining, an area that you can stroll around and shop in, that's not something that Burke is going to offer. Con number three about living in Burke, Virginia is there is not a lot of, if any, fine dining in Burke. There are nice restaurants, not ones that I would deem as fine dining, and there are certainly plenty of options for fine dining nearby, but there are not any in Burke itself. So if you're a foodie and you really enjoy the fine dining, high-end dining experience, and you don't want to drive to something to experience that, well, Burke may not be your best bet. That said, there are fine dining restaurants within 15-20 minutes, so it is close by. It's just not something that Burke itself offers. Con number four about living in Burke, Virginia is a con that you're going to hear on the majority of Northern Virginia cities, and that is high cost of living. That is a characteristic of Northern Virginia in general. I am not trying to pick on Burke. Northern Virginia is an expensive area to live in, and Burke is actually 49% higher than the average cost of living in the United States. And for housing, Burke is 123% higher. So something to factor in, particularly if you're relocating to the area, if you've received a job offer and you think that it looks extremely high, be sure to compare it with the cost of living in Northern Virginia. The other thing in Burke is groceries. Groceries are 13% higher than the national average for the United States. So it's not just your cost of housing that's going to be higher, it's going to be your overall cost of living in general. Whether it's Burke or Northern Virginia, it definitely trends on the higher side. So let's talk about the good things that come with living in Burke, Virginia. The pros of living in Burke, number one, is it is a great place to raise a family. Don't take my word for it though. Niche.com rated Burke, Virginia number 29 for suburbs in all of Virginia as a wonderful place to raise a family. So it is on the map. It has been characterized that way because It is, for our area, a low to medium population density, and it has a little over 44,000 people, which, depending on where you're moving from, may sound like a lot, but for Northern Virginia, that is on the lower side of things. It's just not as densely populated as other cities in this area. And that, along with pro number 2, which is a fantastic public school system, has really landed them on the map for a great place to raise a family. Schools in Burke are highly sought after. There are many people that move even just from Springfield, which is right next door, to get into the Burke school system, depending on where they were in Springfield. They have multiple highly rated schools, highly sought after school district, and they've received a lot of notoriety for the schools that are located within Burke, which ties into the big picture of it being a great place to raise a family. Pro number 3 about living in Burke, Virginia: you may not have a metro station, but you sure do have plenty of metro bus stops. You also have easy access to VRE and to Amtrak. That makes getting around and commuting into DC quite convenient. The train station is centrally located in Burke. You've actually got 2 options, so depending on what side of Burke you live in, you can either catch a bus directly into the Pentagon if you are near the Rolling Road area, or if you're further into Burke, closer to the Fairfax County Parkway side, you can certainly head to the Burke Center Station, which will give you access to both Amtrak and VRE. It's sort of a myth that commuting from Burke is difficult. Yes, Burke is a little further out than, obviously, say your Arlington, Alexandria, and then Springfield area, but it is still not a far commute from DC, and that actually makes it a pro because you get a lower populated area, more green space, and not a terrible commute into the city. You're only looking about, if you're taking public transportation, about a 45-minute to an hour ride into the city, which for Northern Virginia is definitely not bad. Pro number 4 about living in Burke: Burke has an incredible amount of green space, and you can feel the difference as you drive through Burke versus if you're driving through, say, downtown Alexandria. There are a ton of trees, and it really was developed in a very smart way if you're looking for green space. And I'm not just talking parks, although it does have wonderful parks, Burke Lake being one of them, which we highlighted in our vlog tour. Definitely check that out if you haven't. But just green space in general. The neighborhoods have a lot of trees, there's privacy, and you can really feel that it's not as densely populated as other areas in Northern Virginia. Depending on what you're looking for, that could be a pro or it could be a con. Most people view it as a pro, though, for Burke, myself being one of them, because it is hard to find in Northern Virginia a lot of green space within neighborhoods themselves. It's great for parks and that type of thing, but if you're looking to actually enjoy walking trails and not have to drive anywhere, Burke definitely checks that box. So that wraps up the main pros and cons of living in Burke, Virginia. Just a couple more tidbits of information to consider to help you make your decision with your move. Median home value in Burke is about $685,000, which, if you're looking at areas such as Arlington, Old Town Alexandria, or Delray, or even parts of Springfield, it's a little bit more affordable than some cities in Northern Virginia. So that's something to consider when making your move. Burke also is extremely close to Fort Belvoir, so if you're going to be stationed there, it would not be an unreasonable commute whatsoever. It would actually be a very convenient commute. And the other thing to keep in mind with Burke is the majority of the homes there are single families, townhomes, and there are some condos. You are not going to find a lot of apartments there, nor are you going to find any high rises whatsoever. So depending on what you're looking for, just keep that in mind with different areas that you want to explore. As always, whether you're moving in 9 days or 90 days, give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email, and we'll be happy to help you make that smooth move to Northern Virginia. Until next time, we hope to show you around town.